record button. The button's been pressed. You can't put the genie back in the box, CD. You can't do it. This is episode 11. Like it or not, here we are, man. This is it.
Yeah,
This is it.
Here we are.
Yeah, we're here.
We certainly are.
I'm awake. I have awoken.
That's good.
I have awoken. So
Yeah, indeed.
I made more progress in 10. I beat that mandatory section of underwater rugby. It wasn't pretty how I did it, but I did it. So I lost like 4 times, right? And at that point, I was like, okay, maybe I should have a plan for my plan of attack here, right? So my plan was simple. I'll stall out the first half of the game, the first 5 minutes, right? So that first half will stall out for 5 minutes. So I'll wait. No one will score any points. I'll stall them out for 5 straight minutes. Then I'll still have another 5 minutes after. Now, during the second half, at 2 minutes 30, Tidus leaves the game and puts Waka in. So you have a complete character swap. So I'm like, all right.
Okay.
I'll score with Tidus before the end of that 2.5 minutes. Waka joins the game, and then I'll stall out for another 2.5 minutes. Boom. 1-0, baby. It's done. We got it. It's fantastic. That did not happen. That did not happen.
Okay.
I stall out the first 5 minutes. That went according to plan. Unfortunately, I could not get Tidus open to make a goal in time. I get him where I want him. He goes to make the goal. Game times out and says halftime. Before he can shoot the shot, before he can finish the animation to shoot the shot. So I'm like, fuck. This is bad.
So close.
This is bad. Because now I only have a minute and a half. I have 2.5 minutes now. And I'm like, fuck, this is bad. The longer this goes on, the worse this is going to get. So match starts. So the second half of the second half starts. They score on me. I'm like, fuck, no. So at this point, I'm like, shit, I don't care. I'm not losing. I might not win, but I'm not going to lose. That is it. I'm not losing. I may not win, but you are not going to beat me. So I pull off in the last like 30 seconds a shot with Waka. We score. We're tied now. We go into overtime. Neither of us can get a shot. Neither team. We go into overtime again. Neither of us can get a shot. We go into overtime a third time.
Is there a limit to how much overtime?
No, you just keep... So each overtime is 5 minutes. So each overtime is 5 minutes, and it ends when someone scores a shot. The second someone scores 1 point, the overtime's over. We go into overtime 3 times before I finally get an opening and make a shot. And I'm like, at that point, I'm like, I don't care. We'll be in limbo for the next fucking 27 years. I don't care. I'll go Doctor Strange in this bitch. You're not leaving. That's it. You and me stuck here forever? Yeah, that's fine. You don't get to leave, and I can stay, and the game never continues. We fine, baby. Let's be here. It's fine. I'm all about that.
To parlay.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. You don't win, I don't lose. That's all that matters. And the word and one of my favorite quotes of Captain America, I can do this all day. I'll do this all day. We'll box to a stalemate. See if I give a shit. That's fine. I got nothing but time, baby. I got nothing but time. So I win. I was pretty happy with myself. Wasn't the cleanest victory I've ever had, but after having lost that game like 5 times, I was just happy it's over. I was like, I did it. I beat it. It's done. Waka gets his trophy after his team having never won a game in like 10 years. Yeah, that's a storyline element. His team, the Besaid Aurochs, have never won a game. Ever.
Yep.
That was kind of their story.
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah. So they win the cup. So I did it. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. Underwater rugby ruled my Saturday. That is Hey man,
That's been a week. Yeah.
Eh, it's been a day. It's been a
Uh-huh.
day. That's the thing. It's been a day, and these next couple weeks are gonna be great, dude. There's all kinds of good shit coming out. There's Live a Live
Mhm.
remastered coming out, which I'm kind of dying to play. That's like the precursor to what they did with Octopath, but apparently they did it better from what I've been told. So I'll get to see the precursor to that. I'm
It's
excited.
certainly gonna be quite different.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Then, like the week after, we got Xenoblade Chronicles 3 for people to
Mm.
throw another 200, 300 hours into because Monolith Soft don't know how to make a game that ends.
Even in that short development time.
It doesn't. How long were they developing? I assume they would have been working on that shit like the second. I always assume when it comes to sequels, you're working on that shit the second you finish the previous game.
Yeah, but you don't have all the team for that yet, because I mean they did the whole season pass thing with Chronicles 2 as well,
Oh yeah, and they did
and the
like in a
DLC, well,
yeah,
the expansion there too.
yeah, that was like an
And
entire
then there
game.
was the definitive edition for 1.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that.
So
I forgot about the. I forgot the definitive edition, which is weird considering how much I fucking love that game.
So technically, let's see if they have an official info on that. Uh, they first conceived of it during the end of development for 1 and beginning of 2, interestingly enough.
Huh.
But the first production group started development in 2018. After Torna, the expansion for Chronicles 2, went gold.
Really?
So they then probably had their concept team work on that, and I'm guessing after the definitive edition went live, they probably went full speed ahead on 3, would be my guess. Which would be in 2020. May 2020, at least, they would have had full speed ahead, I'd say. Around that time.
Damn.
With probably a smaller team before, but yeah.
Damn.
Obviously, they might have
Then I'm
might
surprised.
obviously profit from using the engine and all, so they don't completely have to do it from scratch.
I'm
which
surprised
helps.
it's coming out this year, given 2020 and 2021. That's surprising.
Yeah.
That's hella. That's hella surprising. We're getting it this year. I would have thought it would have been delayed at least by a year.
Yeah, they
Damn.
apparently their development schedules are pretty well done, since they pretty much announced their games, and I don't think they've delayed any of the Xenoblade games.
Damn.
From announcement on. At least I don't remember them doing that, so they seem to have that down to a T.
Good for them. Good for them. Well, they're getting my money, so I'm all about that. So
Figures.
that's yeah. Go figure. The JRPG guy is on board for another JRPG. Who would have imagined?
Oh. Let me just pretend to be shocked.
Yeah. Would anybody? It'd be a bigger shocker if I said no. I'm not picking it up. That
after
would be
2, nah.
Yeah, that would be that would be the definitive, the true shocker of shocks is Rezo skips
the definitive edition of shocks.
Yeah, Rezo skips a JRPG. That's when you know there's something grossly wrong here. Something has gone terribly wrong. There's a glitch in the matrix. Press the reset button. We gotta try again. We've clearly this simulation has clearly gone awry.
Yeah, we need to reboot.
So I'm gonna take it you've been busy. I don't think I've seen you on playing a lot of things lately. Now, at least not on Steam. I haven't been on Steam as much, so I don't know if you've been on Steam or not.
Over the work week, it's been pretty busy. I've only played a bit of Age of Empires there. Continued with the campaign. I think it was the Greek campaign, the one after the tutorial. And oh boy, that map. I think it's the third map. Boy, that's bad design.
Ooh, really?
You start out with a small group. You
Uh-huh.
get 3 or 4 archers in just an enemy base, and on the right side of the map you get 4 or 5 cavalry units. And your goal is to get to the other side of the map right from the get-go, quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And you have no idea what the map looks like.
Oh no.
So it's essentially a load of trial and error to get to your base that you just know just about where it might be because there's a blue flag, but you have no idea what's in between. It's just so you can either find the correct path, or you find another enemy base, or you find a what's pretty much a end of the line because there's a building that's on the path where you can't get through. So yeah, it's essentially just go somewhere. If you find you're not wrong way, reload, do again, reload, do again, find the base, and then start the mission reel. Which, that's
Not good.
That's
not,
no good.
Not good, huh? Not a good time. No, I didn't think so. Didn't.
Nope.
I'm not the greatest at reading a room, but I read this one pretty well. I could tell this did not go over with a fantastic, with fantastic success.
No, if I hadn't before, this would have been the mission where it said, fuck it, I'm going down to easy and doing it that way.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. That makes sense. I wouldn't blame you. I don't know, man. RTS games, they like Starcraft. Like I always mention, like Starcraft and like Warcraft 3 are like the only like RTS games I've ever really put any considerable time into. Right? Like those were the two that like Starcraft got me into it, and then like Warcraft 3 made me go, shit, you could tell a really good story in an RTS? What? Not saying that Starcraft wasn't a really good story, but it was a very different kind of telling of a story for me. It was
definitely
very different. You were being fed the story in different ways, and these stories were all kind of coming together throughout the 3 campaigns. Like, just to remind people, if you played StarCraft 1 in the order that the campaigns were given to you, so it's Terran, Zerg, then Protoss, because Protoss comes last. If I recall, when do you... Oh, no, you don't find out about Kerrigan until, like, halfway through the Zerg. Like, Kerrigan is lost partway into Terran, and you don't get any resolution there. None. As far as you know, she's dead. And then halfway through Zerg, you've been carrying around this fucking egg, and that shit hatches, and oh shit, it's her. Fuck, what? Excuse me?
I mean, even that's no resolution. That's just, the next step.
Yeah, that's just the next step in this this fucked up narrative.
Yeah, and I mean, it straight continues with the expansion.
Yeah, so...
That story part, because, I mean, Brood War.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
Whereas Warcraft 3, it was telling a fairly coherent story. I mean, yeah, you venture off to, like, the orcs at one point, and they're kind of doing something a little different, but it does end up eventually kind of all coming together, because, you know, like, the human and the undead campaign are basically following the same character. They're both following Arthas. It's his journey to just being an evil prick. Oh, well, at one point...
Although that was more the Frozen Throne expansion, wasn't it?
Kinda. Because... Like, Frozen Throne, he solidifies it, but he kind of does some fucked up shit during the Undead campaign in Reign of Chaos.
Yeah, true. I mean,
Yeah,
that's essentially his path down all that,
yeah,
and then he becomes the uh, yeah,
yeah. So
Lich King essentially.
yeah, I dig it. Um,
Uh-huh.
well, I didn't play a
And I
lot of.
mean,
Hmm?
I'd say StarCraft. I would say both are coherent campaigns. It's just with StarCraft, it's you don't get the whole, you don't comprehend the whole picture until some time,
Yeah, they don't give you the whole scope
which is
of.
which is good, which is good, because I mean it makes sense that the characters at that point wouldn't know would know what happened.
Right. Because
So yeah.
Jim got on that spaceship and flew the fuck out of there because the commander was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Yo, you got to leave, my dude. You got to leave like now." Meanwhile,
Yep.
Kerrigan's down there and she's like, "Yo, boys, can I get a transport?
Mm.
Boy, for real though, can I get a transport, please?"
Mm.
Looks up, sees the ship flying the fuck away.
Mm.
Oh, okay,
So that's how it is. Okay.
Oh, so you, yeah, that fucked me up too. Because I think they did a high quality version of that cutscene where she looks up and she sees the spaceship flying the fuck away, and the look on her face is like, "Damn, these dudes really did me dirty. They really."
They they didn't do that in StarCraft. If they did that, they
It
did
was
that later
StarCraft.
in 2, I
It was
think. That
StarCraft
was
two.
a yeah, that was a flashback to it.
Yeah,
But they did a variation of that in StarCraft with the other time when they were looking at the one of the colonies, one of the planets where that was being overrun by the Zerg. I think that when was that exactly? I don't quite remember. Might have been in Brood War, or it might have been the end of the camp of one of the campaigns.
yeah, I think it was at the end of one of them. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like the
Because
way.
there you could see the one of the soldiers looking up and seeing that battle cruiser
Yeah,
just leave.
that was the start of Brood War's Terran campaign.
Mm.
Is
Yeah, right.
they were doing a
Mm-hmm.
low key test of the Zerg infest of taking over an entire military installation, and this poor
Mm-hmm.
fucker is standing there watching the
Yeah, and you
fucking
can see the zoom out, and you can see the whole masses of Zerg coming and
yeah.
rushing up to him from both sides.
It's like
Whoop! Bye bye.
at least with Kerrigan, like when Kerrigan looked up, the look on Kerrigan's face, like, "You motherfuckers really just did me dirty,
Mm.
didn't you? Y'all really just fucked with me on this one." Homeboy though, he wasn't even mad. He was just like, "Well, shit, I guess I'm dead. Fuck."
Mm.
I hope they kill me quickly because this shit's gonna suck. I see what
Mm-hmm.
these Zerg do to people, man. Fuck, I don't want to deal with that shit, man. That's tough. That's tough. All right. I
Yeah, besides that, I've only been playing a bit of 7 Remake. I've just had a look around in Wall Market, which is nice area.
yeah, it is. You'll see.
Got myself the hard edge sword there.
Nice. You'll see. It gets better. I
Mm-hmm.
promise.
Yeah.
It gets better. I don't.
I'm sure it will.
You'll see. You'll get there. Don't worry. You'll see it.
Uh-huh.
Once you get it, once you see it, you'll get it. I promise. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this week was interesting. There wasn't a lot of groundbreaking news. But there was a lot of smaller news. But I'm gonna make a couple of small little digs real quick. As of July 15th, Bungie is now part of the PlayStation family. I don't think you could have told me 20 years ago when Halo 1 was on Xbox this shit was ever gonna happen. You could never have convinced. With hindsight, no, you couldn't have told me. You couldn't have ever told me, like, yo, in 20 years
we
from
live
now,
in interesting times.
in 20 years from now, PlayStation's gonna own Bungie. People would have been like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Get the fuck out of my face. Couldn't have told me. Wouldn't have seen it coming.
And the newest Halo game will be floundering in terms of multiplayer.
Yeah. Ooh. Imagine going back and telling people who were like just then picking up like Halo 2, like when it was new, being like, yo, Halo 4 and 5 and the game that comes after are only gonna be like mid. they're gonna be like dead ass just mid. Not great, not bad, just mid. You wouldn't.
No, campaign-wise, Infinite is pretty good.
Is it? I haven't heard anything like fantastic about it. That's the thing. I haven't heard. What I've heard has been rather middle of the road. I haven't really heard anybody really praising it. So,
I mean, a friend of mine who's been a Halo fan for a long time, he really liked the campaign.
okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I respect it. I respect it.
So that was a definite upgrade in terms of that compared to 5 and, well, I think 4 is the one that they're pretty much trying to retcon out of existence.
Yeah, Halo.
I think it was 4. Either 4 or 5. I think one of them they're trying to essentially retcon. No, that didn't happen. Nope.
Okay, so Halo has this weird issue, right? Where like the books, like the game continuity in the books have always kind of diverged a bit. The problem is with Halo 5, the books started to take precedent a little bit with some of the continuity. So they're starting to use stuff from the books, and people weren't really jiving that shit because in Halo 5 you suddenly started seeing other Spartans, something you hadn't really seen in the Halo games up until now, because now Master Chief has like his own crew, right? He has like his own crew of other Spartans, which we've never seen before, but in the books that's actually a thing. He has like a crew, like people he occasionally works with, his team.
But other Spartans were a thing. Wasn't there? I mean,
yeah, like okay,
wasn't ODST, for example, or
no,
Reach?
those were not ODST.
Weren't those Spartans?
ODST, those were shock troop. Those were drop troops.
Okay.
They were just normal dudes. Reach were Spartans.
Right.
But the Spartan program has been a weird thing in this universe because you learn about like the professor who created the Spartans, and she did some fucked up human research on people to create Spartans, which of course.
Yeah, I mean, Reach was the reason why John 117 is the last one.
Yeah, so it's interesting because they've slowly been kind of dipping into their extended book universe, and unfortunately when you don't already have reference to that stuff and you're not, and obviously these games were never expecting you to read the books, obviously, which is reasonable, right? I shouldn't have to in theory read a book to understand the game or watch a movie to understand the game,
and the less said the better about the series. I mean, it's very fitting that they said, no, that's a different continuity out the door.
Yeah, good.
So,
Good.
Yeah, good, really good. Because that's,
So let's...
Even me, with knowing as little Halo as I do, I know that's not Halo.
Yeah, that's not Halo. We don't talk about that. So, over the last like week or two, we were announced with the Sega Genesis Mini 2. Right? Now,
it's been a while since they announced it for Japan, but now they also did it.
So there were some other things.
At least for America.
There were some other games that have been announced. Now, some of the games I'm going to be pointing out are not games that have been officially announced for America yet. But if they are announced for America, I'm going to mention a few of them. If these games make it to the American one, I'm buying this. Hands down. Let me just start by saying Lunar Silver Star and Lunar Eternal Blue.
I figured.
If these are on the American, I am buying this hour one, day one. That is an instant purchase. That is those are games I will gladly spend $60 for a piece of plastic to have official licensed copies of ROMs or otherwise. That you're not.
And doing the right thing with also doing Sega CD games with this thing.
Now I've heard, or at least I've seen, that Japan announced. I think I saw at one point in Japan. I think, at least I've heard that Japan had announced Snatcher for this one. I've heard, I haven't been able to track it down, but everyone's telling me that Japan had announced Snatcher for it.
Good question.
Like I'm saying, I don't know for sure if they have or not. If they did,
I mean, let's look at the Japanese website. Well, there's Night Striker, which is probably something else.
Shining in the Darkness, Thunder Force 4, Virtual Racing. Okay. Popful Mail, Shining Force CD, Sonic the Hedgehog CD. Okay. All right. I feel you. Yeah. All right.
At least on the Japanese website, on the official list, I can't see it right now.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna say that if they get the gumption,
if they get that would be really nice.
Yeah. If they put Snatcher on here and bring it to America, that's beyond a day one purchase. That's a guarantee. That's not even a question. That's just a thing I'm going to be buying. That's just money instantly out of my pocket. Like they have Alien Soldier on here as on this. Alien Soldier. Bruh. I haven't seen
That's a good list.
I haven't seen Alien Soldier mentioned in years. Like since Lord Cat did since Lord Cat was doing his series all those years ago. Ooh.
Yeah, Until We Win.
Ooh, I went retro. That's a retro YouTube mention. God, we old as fuck. I went retro real quick right there.
Yeah, although Alien Soldier at least should be on Steam as well on one of those collections. And as a separate entry probably.
So I gotta give Sega credit, man. Sega's whooping Nintendo's ass with their minis. I feel like
at least if they release this separately in Europe as well, then I'll agree, because so far it's only been confirmed for North America. And as an Amazon exclusive.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, come on, Sega, make it happen. I'm ready. My body is ready. All right. So, this is an interesting story because I wasn't expecting. It's always interesting when you hear about CEOs popping off about an industry, right? Like it's always interesting when you hear a CEO pop off about an industry. So I was super interested when I heard about this. Unity CEO sparks fury by saying developers who don't consider monetization are fucking idiots. Might not be the best way.
Might not be the best phrasing, right?
Yeah.
But to be honest, it's Riccitello, so
yeah, it's
what
not.
Would you expect?
It's not all that surprising.
Considering he's been with EA for quite a long time.
It's a very small portion of the gaming industry that works that way, and some of these people are my favorite people in the world to fight with. They're the most beautiful, pure, brilliant people. They're also some of the biggest fucking idiots. Huh. Okay. Now, look, I'm not gonna I am going to say that, it's hard for me to necessarily be mad because he worked with EA, and EA has been nothing but nickel and diamond players for the last fucking decade or two. So it's not really surprising that his perspective is this. Like,
Nope. Not
EA
at all.
EA has been on a fucking conquest to make sure that single player games aren't a thing, or at least that they can push the industry in that direction. Um, it hasn't worked. I mean, I don't think it's worked in any considerable manner. It hasn't pushed devs who would already be doing single player games to not do single player games. And if we've seen anything at all, it's that a lot of these devs who are more single player focused, who'd suddenly try to jump into live services, they don't work. They don't work well at all. If anything, all we've seen is
Marvel's Avengers.
What's the one that Platinum did? Platinum did a live service, didn't they? Platinum Games?
Babylon's Fall.
Yeah, that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, although that has other problems as well, but yeah, it's... Yeah.
It's just a really interesting situation because on one hand...
It went down to... It went down to one.
Yeah, it went to one person.
Or 2 players or something.
There was a point in time when there was only one person playing this game, and I said that they should
Currently, it's a whole 13.
I said
the
that
24-hour peak is 21.
I said that one person should probably get a trophy for being the only person playing the game. I feel like that is a trophy. I feel like you've earned that trophy.
Steam achievement: solo player.
Yeah. So this article was on. Actually, one sec. Let me move this. I will pull this up and show it. Actually, one sec. Switch screen. Of course, it does not. Okay. No, not that one. Not that one. That one. Aha. There we go. Okay. I was pulling it up so people could see it on the other screen thingy that I have done already. There we go. Fantastic. Yeah, so it shouldn't surprise anybody that if PC Gamer and obviously other websites drop this article, Homeboy's gonna see it. I mean, I love this industry because when these sites drop these articles, of course these fuckers see it, and well, their reaction can be a little, you know. I think if someone dropped an article about me in this regard, I probably wouldn't be too happy. So he did tweet out on the 16th, clickbait. Out of full context, deeply sorry if what I said offended any game dev. Absolutely love the people that make games. Creative, hard work. Unity. We're not even going to touch on Unity. We're not even going to go there with this fucking company right now. But he followed up eventually to make a post. I always like to say a Notepad post because that's usually how these things are done. Apologizing,
probably a word in his case, but yeah,
a Notepad post where he kind of explains his perspective and explains his side of what that article was talking about. And look, I don't know if the guy had ill intent when he said the things he said. Who fucking knows? I don't know. You know, all I know is that I wouldn't take anybody who's worked for EA with a grain of salt. It would take them any more than I can throw them if I have to. Frankly put, it's EA. I mean, you know, be mad all you want that people made you look like a villain using words that came out of your own goddamn mouth. Like that's not my fault, dog. Like you was already a villain. Like that's not. You got no one else to blame but yourself for that. That's just how the cookie crumbled there. It sucks, but that's how the cookie crumbled. So, but like I said before, man, like this industry wants live services, but I don't think they really understand how to get there, which is weird considering how many of them seem to think live service is the true way to do gaming. Yet, what, like 90?
It's a whole lot of gas.
90% of them don't work out. They don't work well. or they're not solid experiences, or they come out half-baked with barely any content to keep players busy. Like, yep. I don't get it.
And they have a short look at it. Okay, nothing in there. Close it. Next.
Yeah, it's like...
People are not going to return to it. They have their own games or whatever, and the market is only big enough for a few games like that.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Just like with MMOs.
Yeah, like, how many MMOs have come and gone throughout the years? A bunch.
A lot.
A fuck ton. And I've witnessed quite a few that were stated to be the big market destroyers that came.
Yeah, the World of Warcraft killers.
Yeah, that came and disappeared just as fucking fast. And guess where we are right now? Right now, there's really only like 2 that people talk about. I mean, yes, EverQuest still is a thing, as we've mentioned on the show, but nobody's talking about it. Let's just keep it real. Like, nobody's.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's one thing about being in the news, and there's one thing about actually being played.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the big ones are there. Then there's a few older ones like EverQuest, RuneScape, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Like,
obviously, the market is far more consolidated than it's been over the last decade or so.
Like you said, the market can only like support so many of these kind of games because there's only, I mean, as crazy as it is, there's only so many players, right? So you have this number of players, right? But then you have a number of players who are willing to put in money to buy the game, and in many cases subscribe to play the game, right? So that cuts your number down drastically. 2, most players aren't going to sign up to play more than like 1. They're just not. If you're asking for $15 a month, most people aren't going to throw down 15. This isn't like a subscription service to fucking like Netflix and Disney Plus, right? Like, this isn't the same thing. Like,
yeah,
the commitment.
Because there's also the time commitment that's required there to actually use it well.
The commitment here is significantly different. So, Mr. Risatillo, I mean, look, I'm sure from your perspective, you probably have some merit in calling people who don't consider monetization fucking idiots. But as someone who is an active purchaser of video games and has been in this on the consumer end of this market for most of my life, I'm gonna tell you, you're kind of wrong. But you know what? You do you. I'ma do me. I still haven't bought an EA game, so I'd like to think I'm doing a pretty good job at living my life. Going to respectfully disagree with you, good sir. So, and this news doesn't appeal to the people that this icon would be appealing to. Betty Boop announced on their Twitter an exclusive NFT collection focused on bringing together Betty Boop's worldwide fan community. CD, do you have any idea how old the brand of Betty Boop is? It is insanely old. It is insanely old. So my
black and white cartoons old.
So my first question is, who the fuck is involved in crypto who would have enough of a connection to Betty Boop that an NFT collection would be appealing? Like, never mind that NFTs aren't appealing. Put that to the side. Like, that's a completely different conversation. I'm saying
that's just the baseline.
Yeah, that's the baseline. I'm saying like Betty Boop in particular. I don't see it.
How many people are there even that are that interested in Betty Boop besides some cameos in some shows maybe? But
It's
even aside
just
from
it's
that,
such a weird thing to do. Like NFTs are already a niche thing and stupid as it is, but to like take a
mm-hmm.
niche iconic brand like Betty Boop and then make NFTs, the only people who are gonna buy these are I guess that's the point, right? Fucking speculators, people who
Yeah.
I guess that's the point. My bad. I'm sorry. I fucked up. That's my bad.
The regular audience for NFTs is probably not even gonna know who that is.
Yeah, they're not even. They're
Because the regular audience that knows who Betty Boop is probably not gonna have any idea about NFTs.
yeah. So they're not.
So,
They're not gonna give a shit.
kind of a bit of a divergent there.
Yeah, little weird of a choice if you were to ask me. But what would I know?
Yeah, maybe a little.
I'm just one man. Now, one moment, I'm gonna switch my scene back. I gotta pull up the other thing I was going to talk about today because I don't have it on my list of tabs at the moment. Do I want to do that one? That is truly the question of the day today. You know what? I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna do the Ubisoft one because I feel like that one is. I feel like that one kind of is the thing I want to do today. So let me pull up my few pieces I need here real quick.
Yes, Ubisoft.
Yeah, of course. All right. So, this was 6 days ago. Today is what did it say? The 17th. So that would have been a Monday. So about Monday, Ubisoft announced on multiple platforms that they were going to be removing, specifically at this time at least, removing access to AC Liberations in Anno 2070 on Steam for current owners.
Yep, it's gonna be removed from sale and no longer accessible according to the Steam page.
At least 4 Ubisoft games will be unplayable on Steam from September 1st for current owners. The DLC for the product and online element features will become available as of September 1st. The base game will continue to be playable. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know how like gamers have always said that digital was a shaky fucking ground to stand on when it came to a digital future for media. Yeah, this is kind of it. This right here.
This is exactly what they meant.
This right here is why. This is why. And the thing is, like, I've always kind of put myself in this weird mindset, right? Because it always seemed weird to me that like console gamers are like physical media, right? But PC gamers have, for the most part, like 99.997% have all kind of just went on board with Steam. Most of us have kind of just accepted that norm. We all accepted over time the disappearance of physical PC games and just said, I have Steam. Steam is fine. Steam is where I'll get my games from now on. Took us a while, but here we are. Here's the outcome. Here's the eventuality of what can happen. Especially when almost every developer nowadays has their own service or has their own thing that they're hawking at the customer. It was only a matter of time. What I find ridiculous about this is I don't quite see the purpose, right? Like, I don't... If you want to take away online functionality of your games...
That's fine.
Like,
I mean, that's to be expected after some years.
Like, yeah... It's fine. Like, people, like, depending on circumstances, many people probably aren't even playing the fucking online component anyways. So at that point, you're just cutting off loose fat. Like, fine. You know, it's not great for preservation reasons, but we know my general view on preservation here. So, you know, fine. The game is still accessible. People can still play the single player. The game exists and can still be played.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Yep.
So
that's been the way it's been done pretty much all the time now, up to now.
So what I'm gonna go on a limb, and what I think is happening here is I'm going to put money is that there's probably something that Ubisoft is planning, some service, some Disney Plus like service or something like that we're gonna end up seeing. I know they had something planned for the Assassin's Creed thing that they were working on.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing this strategically. This strikes me as a strategic move. I would be very surprised if in the next year or two we don't start seeing other Ubisoft Assassin's Creed games and just other Ubisoft games in general disappear off platforms. It wouldn't surprise me.
We'll see. Because the interesting thing also was Liberation is also part of 3 remastered, from what I remember, as DLC.
Yep.
And that didn't have that notice, interestingly.
Yeah, that was weird. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that one.
Going by that, there's really no reason why you would remove one completely and not the other. Because it's obviously not a case of, okay, yeah, we have technical difficulties here. We can't support this anymore. Because that also was one of the reasons that they apparently said for Anno 2070, because I think there's some kind of online component there that's also active in the campaign, which apparently has been causing problems. Although I haven't... And they claimed they're planning patches now after the outcry, but I'm gonna have to wait and see what happens there. But,
I mean,
yeah,
I guess this is...
If this is something strategic, then it's very badly executed.
Yeah, it's very poorly done, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
But it does put into sharp reality of just the world that we live in, right? They didn't warn us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they gave us warning, but...
Yeah, it was an advance warning of, let's say, 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months. They gave you 2 months to say, hey, enjoy the shit while you can, because...
Yeah. Especially right after the Steam sale that was going on, where probably a few people picked up one of those titles. So it's like, remember that game that you just picked up a few days ago?
Yeah, the game you just bought.
Played for 2 months, then it's gone. Bye.
Yeah, so not really vibing. Not really vibing this. I'm not not vibing this one damn bit. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I'm calling foul here. A great amount of foulness afoot here. Because I don't...
Ubisoft, go into the corner and think about what you've done.
I don't even really see... I mean, I guess it's cheaper for them to not have it active, I guess, to some degree.
Yeah. I mean, apparently it also costs a little to keep it on stores for sale, for example. I mean, can be much, but it's still, if you just have your titles there and no one buys them, then it's still a net loss. Essentially.
It's not good for anybody, really.
But still, I don't think it's enough to even show up on the baseline. Besides just a blip or a dot or something, it's like the fifth number after the 0.001 percentile or something like that.
Yeah, basically. All right. So the last thing on today's list is an interesting story that involves the Smash community, and I gotta be honest with you.
Interesting. Yeah, you
Gotta,
could say
yeah.
it like that.
Interesting is
Yeah,
certainly
it's one way to put it.
a way you could say it. Might not be the way you'd say it,
Uh-huh.
but I would certainly say it that way. One
Hmm.
moment. All right. Switch that back. Oh, this is.
Shall we contrast the
All right.
how the tweet from Kotaku puts it and how it actually is?
Yeah. So Kotaku's article lists this as Smash Champ apologizes for attending tournament while seriously ill.
Which, well, yep, that can mean a lot of things.
Yeah,
We can interpret that in quite a few ways.
That's one way to say it. I probably wouldn't have said it so nicely, but that's a way to say it. You can definitely say it that way. So we're gonna talk about a man by name of Juan Hungrybox. Very successful Smash player. Guy's a fucking god. Not gonna lie, he's really fucking good. I've watched him play. The guy is talented, no fucking doubt. So
after this story, I'm gonna begin to doubt that's natural talent. Maybe it's more a deal with the devil sort of thing.
Yeah. So this man attended the tournament. This is important, everybody. He went to the tournament. Now, they make it sound like they say seriously ill, but they are grossly understating the illness.
Because when you think that, it might be, okay, you might be thinking of, he's going around coughing and maybe not feeling well or
has a fever, sweating and shit. He's sweating that shit out, No.
Yeah, stuff like that.
He attended the Smash tournament despite having vomited blood and urgent care diagnosing him with either COVID, take-home kit said negative, or bacterial infection of his throat. He also did not wear a mask while attending. Okay, so before anyone tells me, so everyone's like, oh great, here we are with masks again. Guys, listen. Let's put aside COVID for a second. If you are going to an event and you are throwing up blood, all right? Gotta be honest, you might be a health risk. You might be having some problems. Maybe
I might even call it a sanity risk just by the fact of you're going to a tournament while vomiting up blood.
Yeah, you're actively
fuck.
You're actively vomiting up blood. Like this is some horror movie type illness kind of shit. Like, and
28 Smash matches later.
Yeah. Which I find to be interesting, right? So there was an article post about 7 days ago. Hungrybox disqualifies himself from Smash Major amid safety concerns due to illness. He forced himself out of the latest Smash after showing symptoms of severe sickness, sparking backlash from the community for lack of preemptive action. Yeah, gonna go on a limb. Yeah. So
forced himself out. I'd say he forced himself in first.
Like, so it doesn't this doesn't do a great job of explaining it. So I think what they're what they're getting at is he competed for some length of time, and probably because somebody in his camp, somebody who knew him, somebody who was close with him was like, my dude, no.
This is no bueno.
Yeah, this is no buenas. The fuck are you doing? Go home. What are you doing? Wear a mask. And he's like, I ain't wearing a mask. then don't fucking be here, dude. You got the fucking internal rotting of your organs and you're puking up blood. I've seen this. This is a D&D illness. Don't come here. So
I'd say the internal rotting has already taken a hold of his brain.
Yeah, so he disqualified himself. In his public apology, he stated, "It goes without saying, I did a super fuck up today, and it was incredibly selfish of me." My dude. My dude. Just in case you're wondering, Steve.
While I was convinced I didn't have COVID, it was clear I was sick in some capacity.
My nigga.
In some capacity. No shit, Sherlock.
In some, I was not 100% sure. I was not 100% sure, CD, but I had an inkling. I had an inkling that I might be ill. Senor Chill Death. He wasn't 100% sure, but he had an inkling.
Not very chill at the moment.
Yeah, he had an inkling. He might be very ill. Gonna go on a limb. There's like, here's the thing, right? Just so you know, Stevie, I pulled the thing I'm referencing from Dex Erto. Don't know if don't know if just in case you wanted the place I'm pulling this information from.
Yep.
Just here's the thing that like has me like royally fucked up. This man said, "Okay, I don't have COVID, so I'm cool, right? Like, there's nothing wrong here." But like, okay, let me ask you a question, Sadie. Man to man, homie to homie, friend to friend. Have you ever went to work sick?
Like, I'm not really sick. Like coughing, maybe a little, but not really sick.
Okay.
Because
I have
not worth it. Not
CD,
worth it.
See, I have went to work sick. Okay. I have went to work with like feeling feverish and sweating that shit out. Here's the thing when you're sick, CD. People fucking notice.
Yes, they do.
If you go to work and you are
if
like...
it's that bad, then yeah, definitely.
People are gonna notice. So I have a hard time believing, because the way this article states it is he disqualified himself, as if nobody there at the venue, none of the competitors, nobody that he was sitting next to, sitting around, walking by, noticed that this Night of the Living Dead ass corpse was competing.
Not even notice, but they apparently didn't go to the organizers.
Yeah, like...
Well, the organizers went, nah, that's fine.
Nobody went like, yo, you have me competing next to this walking dead looking motherfucker with blood coming out of his fucking eye holes.
It would be interesting if it really would have looked that way. That would have made for an interesting photo opportunity.
This dude's talking about itchy tasty, licking his lips every time he looks at me and some shit. Not really feeling comfortable with this situation. Is that too much? That was too much. My bad. I'm supposed to be the Actually, no, you're supposed to be the more reasonable one, not me. I don't have to be reasonable. Fuck that.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So nobody, I've been to work sick. Okay, like legitimately really sick. And you know what usually happens when I go to work sick? Somebody sees me, and somebody, usually my boss, is like, "Are you sick?"
And I'm like,
home. I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "What the fuck?"
Home you go.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing here? Mike, it's a cool day outside and you're sweating, like profusely sweating. The fuck is wrong with you? Go home. So the fact that this man, I'm not happy with Hungrybox about this. I'm more kind of mad at the venue for nobody picking up.
It's kind of no one's really coming out good, looking good out of this.
Yeah, nobody at the venue looked at
Him
this.
especially not, but the others not really either.
Nobody at the venue. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody at the venue was like, "Hey, man, that Hungrybox dude is looking pretty rough. He's looking flushed. He's been in the bathroom like 3 times since his last match, and yeah,
I mean, if that picture in the thumbnail from Kotaku is the way he looked, has he been? That almost looks like he's been in some kind of eating match or something. Like,
yeah, no, he's looking hella. He's looking hella rough.
Yeah.
That's
Yep. And
like
that's
like
and
who?
that's not just someone after a short amount of sleep. That's no.
He looks hella rough. So you telling me homeboy was competing looking like this and ain't nobody was like, you see, I'll tell you what's the problem here, CD. I'll tell you where the problem is. I don't know, maybe this is like an American thing, but we had an athlete here in America by the name of Michael Jordan. You probably have heard of him. Most people have. Michael Jordan has this. Michael Jordan at one time shot.
Oh yeah, it's that small time guy that also had his on-screen time with Bugs Bunny and Taz and all.
Guy.
I remember.
He played an entire game with like the flu. Like with the flu, and he scored one of his best games that night with the flu. And ever since he did that, other basketball players were like, I'm sick, but you know, if Michael Jordan can do it, I'm going to play my best night. And guess what? They all played fucking miserably, because when you're sick, you probably shouldn't be playing. That's common sense.
Yeah, that was kind of a 1 in a million or 1 in a billion kind of thing with him.
Homeboy in this picture, he looks like he just got the shit kicked out of him. Like, straight up. Like, how can you look at this picture and go, yeah? How do you take this picture and go, yeah, he's doing great. Homeboy's playing at his best today. Nobody
Definitely.
Nobody was like, bro, you cool? You need some water?
He looks like he had a perfect night of sleep, a big coffee, and he's ready to go. Okay. Well, I don't know where, but
where?
Not on stage.
Yeah,
he's ready to go to the hospital, I suppose.
I don't get it. I don't understand. Like I said, I'm not exactly like gonna give him a pass either, because like you shouldn't be competing if you're like, if I was throwing up blood, my dude, I'm not showing up anywhere. I'm staying the fuck home. Like that's a hard line in the sand for me right there. Like right there. But
the only pass I'm giving him is with the ball and straight aimed at his face.
But yeah, like this is ridiculous. Nobody at this venue. Someone took this picture. Somebody sat there and took this picture, and nobody was like, go the fuck home. You're disqualified. You're clearly very sick. There's a problem here. Go the fuck. Nobody. Come on. Am I the only one who's watched a pandemic fucking movie before? Nobody. This is how Patient Zero happens, people. This is how you end up in those apocalyptic zombie movies. I've seen enough of them. I know how this goes. Patient Zero. Right there. This is how.
And even if it doesn't turn out that bad, it's still spreading some infection or whatever that's not gonna turn out good.
He's still coughing. He's still coughing, sweating, touching shit. Fucking like.
Yeah, whatever he's spreading, it's yeah.
Yeah. It's called The Last of Us Part 3. Hungrybox edition.
The box of us.
Yeah. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations. I don't like to dunk on my fellow fighting game fellows unnecessarily, but I'm going to be honest with you. You had this coming. And I'm also going to say that any outlet that reports on this as he disqualifies himself are fucking morons, because that is an absurd thing to write. No, I'm not letting this go. You write in clean conscience, Hungrybox disqualifies himself because he amid safety and illness. Bro, he shouldn't have disqualified himself. My dude, he shouldn't have even fucking been there. He shouldn't have been allowed in a fucking door.
I mean, they're reporting on the facts in that regard, so yeah, that's what happened. Even if it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, it's still fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous. I don't usually get upset about this kind of stuff. What kills me about this dude is that, like, he says in his, like, apology on Twitter that, like, he's gonna start taking mask protocol more seriously, and he's not gonna, do all this stuff. And look, I don't want to get into this whole mask thing, all right? COVID or not, if you coughing up a lung and are walking around looking like something out of a fucking zombie movie, either don't show up or wear a mask so you don't end up coughing on someone and giving them fucking Ebola. That's all I'm asking for here.
Yep.
I'm not.
Masks aren't a new thing. They have been invented just for COVID.
Yeah.
So there's a reason they're around.
Today was a necessary lesson, and I hate that it took me this long to give it proper attention. I'll be wearing masks at all future events I go to, no exception. I kind of want to look this up. I want to know how he played. Like, I don't want to encourage him, but my morbid curiosity wants to know if he played well. Because if he still played well while he was sick,
up until his self-disqualification.
Yeah, because my morbid curiosity is telling me, like, if he still played well despite being sick.
Maybe that's why he disqualified himself, because he noticed it's not working out.
If he still played well, I would make...
Maybe he wouldn't have disqualified himself if he played better.
Yeah, if he was...
Who knows?
I love the comment section. The comment section on this Twitter post, on his Twitter post for Saved You a Click, someone says, "Who coughs up blood and thinks it's an average day or something?" The fuck?
Yeah.
His symptoms showed up. Hungrybox should quite frankly be permabanned from every event ever after this, but he won't. His symptoms showed up on Sunday. He had none prior. He has been wearing a mask prior to that Sunday. Look at the VODs before top 12. Vomiting blood is almost never because of COVID. It is likely a bacteria. Obviously shouldn't have came Sunday. That's the point. Like, COVID is not the point. Like, I'm tired. Yep. Like, yeah, he didn't have COVID. Congratulations. You still showed up to an event looking like a zombie extra out of the Walking Dead. Like, that's still a fucking problem. Oh, goodness. Congratulations, sir. I hope it was worth it. I doubt it. I don't personally think your health is... I think your health is more valuable than a tournament. Yeah. I think anyone's health is more valuable.
He couldn't have needed the money that badly.
I think anyone's health is more valuable than their job. I think that if you're sick, you shouldn't go to work. And look, let me just be the first to say it out loud. I know a lot of us out here grinding the 9 to 5s. A lot of us out here working 5 and 6 days a week, and some of us are living paycheck to paycheck. I get it, all right? It's fucking hard out here. Not all of us can just take a day or two off to get better. I get it. Believe me. I understand, all right? It's hard. But your health is more important. Your health is more important than your job. There's no reason for you to be at work fucking killing yourself while your body's also trying to fucking kill you. Like, don't do that shit. Don't do that shit. All right, miss a day, miss 2 if you gotta. I know it sucks, but your health is more important. Your life is more important.
There's a limit to it. Yep.
Yeah, your life is more important than that. Don't be doing that to yourself. All right. And Hungrybox, don't be fucking stupid. God damn, fucking dumbass. show up to a fucking tournament, puking up blood that's fucking common. Get the fuck out of my face. All right, sorry about that. Didn't mean to go off on that tangent. That was unnecessary, unprofessional of me. But I've never claimed to be a professional, so it's all good. it's all good. I've never claimed to be a professional, so I'm
not any less unprofessional, not any more unprofessional or unnecessary than what we've been talking about.
It's always that's great. That's great. As long as it's always in comparison, I'm always more professional. It's fantastic. Anyways, everybody, hope you've enjoyed this lovely little hodgepodge of stories that we got to talk about today. It's been a rather interesting week. No big red flags for the week, but it's been an interesting list of interesting stories. I hope you guys have enjoyed them. As always, you can find us on a variety of audio platforms ranging from Google, Spotify, and even Apple. And as always, you can find our video show that we record alongside our audio on our YouTube channel, The Turn-Based Cynics on YouTube. It's posted every single week. Not gonna say a day. Been a little difficult for me. So if you are interested in making sure you do not miss the video podcast when it goes up, follow us on our Twitter, The Turn-Based Cynics. That way, you'll be alerted to whenever we post, to whenever I manage to get the show up on YouTube. That way, you don't have to miss them. And that way, you get to keep up with all the wacky, zany nonsense that we get to talk about on this lovely little show of ours. And as always, everybody, get back out there. It's another week ahead of us. Let's get on our grind. Let's get our game on. All right, fellas, let's get these W's. All right, we got 5 days to make it happen. Let's get it done. It's not going to be fun. We're not going to like it. We're going to get to Wednesday and fucking hate ourselves. But by the time we get to Friday, we're going to be feeling good as fucking rain. Tired as fuck, but good. So until then, everybody, I'll see you all next time.